I'm just going to be listening. Like, I can hear you guys through the headphones, but I'm just going to monitor it,
Word, brother.
if that makes any
So
difference. Well, then we're live.
We're live and back. Welcome back, guys.
To Howdy and Hello.
Howdy and hello.
With?
Featuring
Jen. Me.
Her.
Jen. This is Jen Green. Some background on her is she's my best friend. We call each other Boobop. And yeah, she is the girlfriend of one of my other best guy friends, Brad. Yeah, she's part of my soul family for sure.
Yeah, well, thank you. Thank you for having me.
We kind of forced this upon her. We were just sitting in the backyard and we were kind of just like, Jen, you're going to be on a podcast today, so.
It was pretty spontaneous, I have to say.
Jacob's thing was it's perfect weather and the lighting is right. So
Yeah, we got great overcast right now.
Yeah, why wouldn't we take advantage?
It's such a peaceful day
do a pod?
out. I think we've all said that at one point
It's
this
a
afternoon.
perfect Sunday for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely.
Well,
Today, I think it would be a good time to do Jen and I have been doing a lot of self-reflection as far as our move out here from what we consider the Midwest. Both of us, you were born in Iowa but raised in Missouri. I was born and raised in Missouri. Later on in life, you spent some time in Illinois as well, still what most people consider the Midwest.
do both of you still consider the Midwest, like what regions
Here's
are the actual
thing.
Midwest?
I have thoughts here.
Because
I knew
go
that
ahead,
this
Jen.
was going to come up.
I recently, well, let's say within the past 5 years of just traveling and being able to explore a little bit outside of the tri-state, I was able to go to Michigan. And that is considered the Midwest. But prior to that, just growing up as a child, I just thought the Midwest was Illinois, Indiana, but then over to like Kansas, Oklahoma. Wow, that's even
On the other side of us, we're in the middle of that.
I almost
You just
consider
described all the states around us.
I didn't want anyone
Indiana.
to feel left out.
What did you consider? What is your? See, here's the thing though. Like every time I turn around and ask the question, because people ask me, they actively ask me, "What are you, the Midwest?" And I'm like, I don't know. Different people have different. Some people think we're the South. 'Cause
Missouri
we're
could
right
be the
next
South.
to Kentucky, Tennessee, Arkansas. Oklahoma is borderline, but Texas and all that is technically the South. So it's like, I don't know. I tell them we have an identity crisis.
Yeah.
We are, I'd say, like, underneath Ozarks is South. And
I think
we're
that's
the
pretty fair to
Midwest.
say.
I agree. And for context, I grew up in northern Missouri, which is like 20 minutes from Iowa. So it's as far north in Missouri as you can
Yes.
get. So I really didn't go south of I-70 till I met you and Brad in college.
Yeah,
And it's a big state.
Yeah, it is a big state. And Columbia is it's kind of the halfway point, I feel like.
Yeah.
St. Louis, Columbia, if you guys remember the first podcast I referred to, it was I-70 that runs across the state and kind of splits it in half-ish. Yeah, but I love to get outsider takes on what they think is the Midwest. And Jacob, you can provide that. Like,
Well, I mean, she said Indiana, and I grew up going to Indiana, and like I feel like that's more east.
You wouldn't consider that the Midwest?
I don't know.
see, Ohio thinks they're the
Wow.
Midwest as well.
Well, then this is a good.
See?
What is the true Midwest?
Where is the line?
We'll have to figure that.
Where is the line?
I feel like Ohio in the Midwest is bold to say.
I said the same
That seems
thing.
very east.
I
to
said
me.
the same
Kansas.
thing.
Well, some people consider Colorado and Wyoming the Midwest too.
Absolutely
Is
not.
Ohio the Middle East?
I've never
middle.
heard
The Middle
anyone
East
say
of
that.
America.
Wow.
But I mean,
See, I
The
spoke
thing
to
is-
someone recently, and they had
That's-
a big bone to pick because they consider Utah, Colorado, Wyoming, and all that the true Midwest.
maybe I'd give
Really?
Yes.
eastern Colorado the Midwest points because there's nothing out there but land. It looks like Kansas.
That's to me is still out west.
But that's because it's west of us. Everything
Because we're
is
the
west of us.
Midwest.
No, we're not. We're not in the grand scheme of things.
So I'm
Everything
gonna go
west
ahead and
of
just
us
say
is-
that Missouri is the Midwest.
Are
and
you
that's
telling
it.
me my whole life has been a lie?
We're about to shatter worlds. There's so many maps out there. I think that people actually take the time to really dive into this, and it gets kind of aggressive. And I've seen personally
Maybe
so
it's
many
split by a
maps.
river, like rivers, main
I don't know,
bodies of
man.
water.
Sure.
But
The Mississippi, what do you do with that?
that's the
We have
South,
that
baby.
down
But it
our
also
entire
is in the
border.
North.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Mississippi's in Montana. Starts in Montana.
I guess east to west, maybe the rivers divide that line. But north and south, I feel like it's pretty clear what's the South.
I agree.
This is an opinionated thing, and everybody's gonna have a different one. So,
Anywho, carry on.
anywho, yeah, I knew that was gonna be a hot button topic for us. So essentially, Jen and I, for additional context, we spent 20 years in these places, in these states, landlocked. Like, we had to drive. It's true what they say about Midwesterners, that they drive everywhere. I knew so many people that would drive down to Florida, drive down to Texas, 16 hours, 20-hour drives just to drive. My best friend and her family would drive up to the Dakotas. They would never fly, even though her dad's a pilot. It was just something we did, and everything just seemed like impossible to get to, really.
If you give me the time and the budget, I will drive anywhere over flying. I hate flying.
That's fair. Maybe
flying,
there's a portion. Maybe you're a little Midwestern.
The ritual leading up to flying, or you don't like the actual.
I mean, not
flight.
being in the air doesn't bother me, but I'm just saying everything about airports kind of sucks. Everybody's situational awareness goes away immediately in airports. You get on the plane, all of a sudden you're producing all this oil and sweat. You feel all gross.
No, we didn't need to talk about
I'm just saying it's not a comfortable time. But I mean, I've drove across the country 3 or 4 times, and I feel like that's pretty good.
Yeah, that's fair. Well, also, the biggest positive to driving that everybody overlooks, and the negative to flying, you have to fit everything in a 3-ounce bottle. You have to put everything in a suitcase. You can't really bring anything home unless you pack a suitcase within a suitcase. You're restricted extremely. Whereas if you drive, you can pack a cooler. You can bring your beach chairs. You can bring all these things for your kids. And a lot of these families have a ton of kids, or they're going with their cousins or what have you. So.
And there's nothing worse than a middle seat on an airplane. That is my definition of hell.
That's so true. That is so true. Do you know what my airport hack or my airplane, my seat hack is?
Wait, quick little rant before I forget this. This is just a quick one.
Go for it.
When I was 15, I was going to Kentucky and whatever. There was a long day. The airlines went down, and I ended up getting on this flight next to this woman, and I fell asleep, and I woke up right before we landed, and I was laying on her chest. And I was 15. I looked up and I was like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. And she was like, it's okay, I have kids. And I was like, I don't really know how to feel about that, but it was sweet, I guess.
It's a mom.
But I had a good nap.
You found a mom.
On a plane. Finding a mom on a plane.
Oh my goodness. That wasn't a rant. That was a really nice story.
That was kind of wholesome, actually.
I tried to keep it short.
I was shook, and then I was like, that's actually pretty touching.
Yeah. I didn't know where I thought that was
touch
going.
of humanity.
But
that was the only time a middle seat was all right. Let's just say that.
Well, that's nice.
Yeah.
Okay, my seat hack. I always pick towards the back of the plane, and I pick outside seats because I can be the last one to board. So whenever I'm if I'm rushing or if I'm time crunching and stuff, I have to be the last one to board anyway. And I'm just hanging out. I just chill in the airport. I wait, let everybody else board the plane, and then I get on, go to my seat. I don't have to fight with anybody to sit down. I can just sit and be on the outside, go to the bathroom if I need to, and I can get more snacks because the snack tray ladies always give cans out at the end of the plane with whatever I get because they can't use it for anything else,
Yeah.
All the people in the front get only cups, and I get a full can.
That's greedy.
Ideal, man. That is the hack to domestic flights.
There's nothing better than a ginger ale on a flight.
You're telling the truth.
Something about it.
So
it hits
telling
different.
the truth.
I only drink ginger ale when I'm on a flight or if I'm sick. Any other time, nope.
Yeah. Hell yeah, brother. I'll get behind that.
I'll add that to my bucket list. I have yet to
Ginger
try
ale
that.
on a
That
flight.
sounds really great. to be
Ginger ale
honest.
on the plane?
Yeah.
Yeah, you should try that for sure. It's great. So we veered off there. We spent 20 years in Missouri, and then we decided at different times to leave. I left during COVID, as many of you know, and I made the decision to go to Jackson, Wyoming for 5 years before coming here. And Jen's first time out was
45 days ago or something like that.
Woo!
45 days.
So
45 days.
one could say I'm a noob.
Yeah. Yeah, so you're going to have the perspective of, as a seasoned veterans kind of pushing it. Someone who's been out for more years and someone who's freshly gotten out. I say it like it's jail. I want everybody to know that I love the Midwest. I have been told by multiple people that I should work for the Tourism Board of Missouri because I am constantly hyping it up. I am constantly defending it to all of you people that call it misery.
You know what? You go ahead and have fun in Tornado Alley.
Yo, tornadoes? I mean, yes, they're deadly, but they're kind of cool. Like, out of earthquakes and tornadoes, I'd pick a tornado. To be very honest with you. To be fair.
That is coming from someone who hasn't been in Missouri since it's the new Tornado Alley. So she's looking at 10 tornadoes versus 100 tornadoes.
Yeah. I'd rather take a hurricane.
Did it ever touch down in Pike County? No. Then I don't need to worry about it.
It's true.
You just have anxiety about all this. The what ifs. The warnings.
I think there could be a conversation had about how destructive the tornadoes have been.
100%. I used to be very candid about tornadoes, but then my friend's farm got ripped through, and going there and helping them clean up the aftermath in high school, and my mom saying that I shouldn't go in the barn because so many animals had to be put down. I saw the destruction firsthand, and I was like, yeah, maybe this is a bigger deal. Like,
that makes me feel worse than people getting wrecked. The animals, ugh, God.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not cool.
It's pretty deep. But
any kind of natural disaster.
Besides that, Missouri is sick place. It's a really sick place. It has a lot of caves. It has a lot of natural history. Like, Johnny Morris is doing some really awesome stuff in southern Missouri. There's a lot of awesome venues, I feel like, and food. The food scene.
Cornbread. That's it.
I know Jen has, like,
cornbread.
Here's pretty cool, but this is a city. Like, we gotta compare apples to apples. As a whole, Missouri has some really awesome food places. Like, some of the best.
Would you say that's different, Jen, compared to out here, the food selection?
Oh, the food selection? Yeah, I would say this is the most like options I've ever had.
Yeah.
But I'm also used to not only being from the Midwest, but in a more rural area. So that's kind of like limitations on top of limitations as far as variety.
Just Jersey
Well,
Mike's.
I mean, Columbia is the comparison because this is 100,000 people. And
I would have to argue that
in Bend,
I have
there's
to
100,000 people.
Right?
Yes.
I mean, that's what it quotes, but there is far more than 100,000 people.
We should.
There's got to be like at least 250.
Well, that's visiting population. As of 2023, 104,557.
2023, dude. I moved here in 2023.
2 years ago.
Yeah.
All
and
right.
when I moved here,
Do you think it's gone? How much do you think it's gone up? Not 100,000.
dude, you know how many TikToks and like Instagram Reels I see daily about people moving here? And especially working at like the higher end resort, whatever, here in town. Everybody that had a second home was from like the Bay Area, and like they'd have friends come out, and I'd be like driving them around all weekend, and they'd be like, "This is a really nice place," and like we have a viewing to go look at a house, and like everybody just keeps coming and coming.
Yeah, but second homes don't count here.
What?
They don't count in the population, dude. They count at their original state where
Yeah.
they spend most
Well,
of
I
the time.
get that, but I'm just saying, in like the
I get
general
that
scheme
as
of things,
well.
there's
Yeah.
people here.
There could be people living here, but I'm saying that they're like visitors don't count. Like second homes don't count and stuff like that.
The thing is, though, with the second homes here, if you live in the Bay Area, flights from here to San Francisco are only like $90.
Well, isn't that going away?
No.
Somebody said that the other day.
They're expanding the airport right now. They're actually building it out, like to have more flights. So
Well,
it'll probably just get worse.
well, you just told everybody
About what?
about the $90 flights from San Francisco.
I mean, that's cool. I'd rather
You're just
drive
gonna
to
get
San
smashed.
Francisco anyways.
I know, but they're all going to come up here. You're inviting more people.
I mean, I'm not from here, so I can't tell people what to do.
Right.
And even if you are from somewhere, just kind of shut up and
We're
Like,
literally talking
every-
about where we're from right now.
I know, but like everybody is like a nomad at some point. Like nobody's actually where they're from.
Well,
Like for a
yeah, you
majority
have
of it.
roots.
Yeah.
Everybody's got roots.
I,
I'm always going to be from Missouri. It's where I spent right now the majority of my life. So until I spend a more majority.
I've noticed that's like a much bigger thing out here.
the localism.
No, I
No.
mean the reverse of it. Like you saying everyone's a nomad. Out here, I would say yeah, and we are in that. We're included in that. But
Yeah.
in the Midwest, it's really not
No.
as common. So that's a completely like
Yeah.
culture shock if you think about it.
Which is also a cool thing, though. I think it's pretty
It
nice
is.
when you go to an area like, and everybody's from somewhere different. Kind of.
Well, everybody's got different perspectives.
Yeah.
In the United States, we have so many different perspectives as a country. Like, just the differences of all of our states are so vast. It's insane. It's like, I don't know how we have so many federal laws because, like,
As Cass says, every state should be a country.
yeah, because our states are the size of other countries.
If you compare to Europe,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yes, I say that all the time.
It's not our fault that we're uncultured and not well traveled. This country's just so damn big.
Well, the country's so big, and we're in the middle of it. We are literally. I would say if you took the central location, Missouri would be in it. They actually wanted to do the World's Fair always in Missouri. They wanted to put the capital in Missouri because it was in the center of the United States.
For comparison, I mean, people can just hop on a train and go to France for the day, go to Paris for lunch, and then come back to, England or whatever. And we drove 27 hours from Illinois to here, and we're still in the same country.
Yeah.
How many time zones does it?
3?
I lost 3 hours.
4. There's more than 3. Alaska's
No.
in a different time zone.
In my
I thought you were
drive.
saying
Time.
how many did she cross?
In my drive.
Oh, yeah.
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 So I am based out of Central Illinois for work, and those hours, which are like 8 to 5, and here, so it's like 6 to 3. So that's been a shift too, but we're getting used to it.
It's an ideal time. Jacob wakes up at 6. He works, remote?
Hybridish. Yeah.
And he wakes up at 3 so that he can just get everything grinded out and then go have fun with his day. So
Yeah.
it just sucks. It really sucks when you're not.
There's so much day to enjoy. I wasn't ready for that. The go, go, go that people do out here is just mind blowing. The stamina that these people have, you Westerners. I envy you. So I had to catch my breath. I couldn't keep up with you guys I still can't. I know I can't. I won't challenge you. So don't worry about that. But it's just like the improvement of everything that I've been able to squeeze in. I told you guys I have so much FOMO here. There's just so much to do.
Yeah.
Because
And
I feel like
creating
there's
a lot
enough
on your
time.
bucket list being
Yeah.
here.
And explain the flip side of that. Like, explain how it was in Illinois. Because, like you just said, you have so much to do and, like, all these things that you want to see and stuff. How was the flip in Illinois?
I would say, as someone who really enjoys the outdoors and being able to explore and hike and find bodies of water to swim at, like very simple things, I had a lot of limitations where I was at. And that was a weird, suffocating feeling. It seemed like such a simple amenity, but yet it was so hard to get.
Yeah.
And that was really frustrating. And I come out here and there's at least 20 lakes surrounding Bend.
Yeah.
And not to mention a giant, beautiful river that goes right through.
Yeah.
So I've just never had so many opportunity to go on adventures. And
I
it's
will
so
say
fun.
that this area has been like one of my favorites to live in terms of like traveling to do other things on like the western half of the United States. Like in Jackson, it was cool because you could go to like Montana and Colorado, but I had been to like Colorado at least a couple of times before I actually moved out west. And like out here, if you want to, like, I went to visit Ella and Jackson the last 2 winters when she wasn't here, and it was like a 10-hour drive, and then we went and drove all the way to Yosemite and to Mexico from here, and it was like all pretty easy and like accessible, which I think is cool.
It's crazy.
It's a good center point.
Yeah, it's crazy to think about the access points as you move around the country. You know what I mean?
You can go to Canada from here pretty quick.
Yeah,
It's like
you could
under 10
definitely go to
hours or
Canada.
12.
You can go into northern Idaho,
I know.
Washington, all that. You you'd drive up through Canada and go to Alaska if you really wanted to.
I will also point out one of my goals is to just go to as many national parks as possible, which there's 63 of them, I think.
Yeah.
Don't quote me on
There's
that.
a lot.
But
You know the Everglades is one of them?
yeah, I did. I would love to
Pretty
go
cool.
see it someday. We'll get there. But, you know, if you're trying to do that, the closest one, and I can't even include it, the one in St. Louis, the Arch. I mean, for someone, they're all outdoors, national parks.
Wait, the St.
The
Louis
St.
Arch
Louis-
is a national
It
park?
is. It counts as a national park.
Really?
Yes. And there's a lot of disappointed tourists when they show up to the middle of St. Louis, Missouri.
I've always wanted to go in the Arch, though, like the little tour you can do in there.
I can't say anything because I have not gone up in it.
Wow.
I know.
You can go
Wow.
up in it. Yes. It's a pretty weird feeling at the top because
If you recall, I think it was last year, there was a tornado
When
and there were
somebody-
people
yeah.
up in there.
I thought there was it a tornado
Yeah.
or was
Yes.
it an earthquake?
Maybe
Actually, I think it was
both.
this year. I think it was this spring. And St. Louis has been hit really hard this year. And it was one of those, and it came on really fast, not much warning, and people were up in the Arch. Absolutely not.
Yeah, that seems pretty terrifying.
Get me land.
Get
Gateway
me.
Arch. Yeah. I think there was
I need to
there was
ground.
a shot from the inside of the arch and you could literally like see the people struggling to stand up. That would be a no for me, boss.
It was an
I'm pretty sure
earthquake?
no, it was a tornado.
Oh.
I'm pretty sure it's a weird elevator thing that you take up to.
Like an escalator?
No, like you're in an elevator.
Mm.
Only a couple can go at a time. I'm pretty sure if I remember that right.
I think I want to
have,
go
like,
in
movie-
there and the Space Needle.
You want to go there in the Space Needle?
Yeah. Those are like
That's-
two random things that I've like always just been. I mean, I went to the Empire State Building
Yeah.
and it was just pretty anticlimactic. Like, I feel like pretty much any building. Wow, I'm going to get a lot of hate for this, I guess, from people in New York. But
Here we go.
once you get to the top of a building in New York, it's really pretty, the skyline, but it's all
It's
relative.
buildings.
It's buildings, yeah.
Ugh.
So that's
I
my
can't
hot
do
take.
that.
The
That
Empire
kills
State
my
Building
heart.
sucks. Tell your friends.
Tell your friends.
The Space Needle isn't
It's in
that
Seattle.
far.
Yeah, no, it's not
from
that
here,
far
right?
off, but it's a Space Needle. Oh, I thought you were talking about in terms of like similarity to the Empire
No.
State Building.
No.
But no, yeah, it's like
Just coming
6
back
or
to your
7 hours.
point that
Yeah.
this is such a good like access point.
yeah.
I want to do one of those meals at the. Don't they do like meals where you can see the ground? You know what I mean? At Space Needle.
Like the see-through floors.
Mm-hmm.
I think so. I haven't actually been to
I would love to
Portland
do one of
or
those.
Seattle.
Oh.
Neither have I.
And like I've gotten a lot of mixed reviews and I feel like that's just about anything,
Mm,
you know, in
Yeah.
life. People are gonna
uh,
give you all these different perspectives.
perceptions of states and places, but they don't even know.
A
About
lot of
them
people
all.
tell me they're like, I love Portland, and I know there's a significant crime and homeless issue, population, whatever going on there.
Yeah.
But I feel like there's a lot of hidden gems and actual cool culture
I
to
agree.
Portland.
I think
It's like
that's
grunge.
anywhere
Yeah.
you go. Like, Chicago's got their issues, but
Chirac.
I would also agree. Yeah.
like St. Louis has issues.
Yeah. Miami.
Kansas City's got issues. Everybody's got issues. Everybody has issues. That's
Okay. And the one thing is too that I feel like my perspective was when I got here, everybody told me Portland sucked, and I was like, ew, I don't want to go there. And then I went to San Francisco, which everybody also told me sucked, and that it was way better back in the day, as was everything. But I went to San Francisco, and that's like my favorite place, like my favorite city ever.
Yeah, we
It's
have
the
fresh
coolest.
perspectives. They
Yeah.
have they're thinking about how it used to be and they're salty.
Yeah.
But we go there and it's like when people see a bison for the first time or a moose.
Yeah.
Man, people really love the moose of Wyoming. They go bananas for the moose.
All right, let's steer this thing back on track
We're
here.
gonna
I don't
steer
know where
back,
it
we're gonna
was,
steer it
but
back. This is great. How did your first grocery trip out west go compared to the one back and compared to your normal trip in Illinois and for
expensive.
me Missouri? And
I have to agree with Jacob. At first, I just said, ow. It's a little more expensive out here. I do miss Aldi. I love Aldi, but I have its cousin, brother franchise.
Which is?
Trader Joe's.
Oh, you've never been to a Trader Joe's in Thailand?
No, I've never lived.
Near
Somewhere.
one. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to drive 2 hours if I wanted to go to a Trader Joe's. I know that probably just stabbed someone in the heart that has always had that.
I always thought growing up, like, because I feel like my parents would go to Trader Joe's, and for some reason I thought it was like really expensive until like I moved out here and I went to Trader Joe's like independently, and I was like, this is like relatively cheap and way better than like Safeway or Albertsons.
I think I took you to your first Trader Joe's, didn't I?
No,
Not you,
oh,
Jen.
I
my
don't know.
bad.
I'm pretty sure because
don't know.
I feel like you had the same sentiment as him. I feel like I remember you being like, I thought this was really expensive and I never thought to come here. And I was like, no, Trader Joe's is sick.
The way it was always explained to me, and it makes perfect sense, it's like the Aldi price point and quality and uniqueness of like Whole Foods. So like the health foods version, which again, like is not something we typically had in the Midwest.
Yeah, and they just have a lot of clean items that are Trader Joe items, like Trader Joe's items. And
Dude, the sunflower seeds they used to sell there that were chocolate covered. Ugh, the best things ever, and they got rid of them.
Oh,
Bring it
that is
back.
sad.
Bring it back, Trader
Bring it
Joe's.
back,
The
Trader
sunflower seeds that are
Joe's.
covered in chocolate. I will be your top client. I will
He'll
buy.
order a pallet
Dude,
right now.
I will order so much of
Right
it.
now.
It's right now.
I haven't had this feeling in like years, but I was just like, told Brad the other day, I was like, I just need a good jam. And so we went to Trader Joe's and they had a local Oregon jam, and it had all kinds of varieties of berries, and it is so good.
I think that's the other cool thing about Trader Joe's is that like locally, like in Florida, there was different local products that were of South Florida or
They're
wherever you were.
typically more expensive,
Yeah.
you know, but it is really cool to have that option. And obviously in that moment, you know, I was willing to splurge and it was so worth it. So I think that's super cool that they do that.
Yeah.
For sure. Jacob, do you remember your first grocery trip in Jackson, Wyoming?
Yeah, I walked from Miller Park to Albertsons just because I
Wait.
didn't.
No. Didn't you go to Pearl Street?
No.
You went to Pearl Street and you were like, is this what they're all... Wait.
The first thing that I did is I went to Albertsons.
Okay.
But then when I got back home, I was like, wait, there was a grocery store and a market right by the house.
Gotcha.
So then the next time I went there and I was like, I'm not paying for this. This is absurd. Like, too much.
Pearl
Street is a
kinda
scam.
Price gouges.
A scam. It was like
It's like a
$10 for a bag of
bodega
chips.
situation, and they overcharged.
I
so
really
much.
don't even want to know, because from what you've shared, this is much cheaper
Yeah.
than living in Jackson. And for me, you know, it's such a jump up, so I can't even imagine.
The ranges. Yeah.
The cost of living obviously is just insane. We won't go into that, but
no, Jackson was definitely well, you know, when I went from paying $200 rent to paying, my first place I found was $700, but when I was looking, it was all like $900 to $1,200 stuff, and I was like, am I really about to do this? Am I out of college, was working 3 part-time jobs, I have this new job that's, you know, pays good for me, but like that's a lot of money to sink into rent. Everybody says, what's the ratio? What are you supposed to spend of your paycheck on rent? Supposed to?
A fourth?
yeah, no, definitely no more than like 25% of your income.
25%. Yeah, it was good.
We're
probably looking at a 50% cut every week.
But also, I'm sure that varies by obviously areas of the country.
Totally.
That's so much more attainable in the Midwest.
In the Midwest,
than
that's
say,
the thing.
you know, like an apartment here.
But even in Florida, when I went back from Jackson and was like, because I just moved in with my mom again, because I was like, I'm not going to pay rent or whatever, not knowing where I wanted to end up. And while being there, I started looking up like the housing market, apartments and everything like that. And it was kind of similar to like what you'd be paying here or Jackson almost. It was like
in Florida.
It was like $1,800 to $2,000 almost for a studio apartment. In the
not
areas
surprised.
I'd like to live, but that's when I was like, all right, well, I'm not going to stay in Florida because it's the same price to live somewhere really cool.
You're right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That is kind of the biggest, I think, benefit the Midwest has, is it's kind of the last frontier for our age of people to be able to maybe kind of afford a house-ish.
Ish. Ish.
A little bit.
I could push back, but I won't do that
In
today.
comparison, I know you have a different perspective on it, but like, I could probably, I probably would have a house if I was back in Missouri.
I don't think I'll ever own a house.
Really?
Doesn't seem feasible.
Oh my.
Or like in reach,
Or would you do it if like the market crashed and they were like, I don't know, $40,000 again? Is that attainable?
That's La La Land.
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
That's craziness.
What goes up must come down. You know what I mean? Like the
You know what they
country is
say.
really up right now.
I don't see it going down.
It has
I don't
to.
either.
It's economics. It's literally economics.
Well, isn't the whole thing all these giant companies are just buying up houses?
Yes.
Like that's what's going on. So like
Yes.
There is some of that
they're going to
happening.
continue
Definitely.
doing that
Well,
for
I know,
money forever.
until people in government, like some people are putting laws into.
There are
order.
some slowly,
Okay,
but
here's
it's
my hot
not
take.
keeping up.
Here's
We have
another hot
several
take.
tonight.
I know. But mine is you cannot own more than one house in each state.
You've said this before, and I went back.
You
and
think
forth
that
with
should
you
be a
on it.
law?
I think that should be a law.
That's absurd.
Why?
Because people, like, that's the only way people like you and me can make money is getting an investment property, building it up, reselling
That's
it.
the only way we
having
can make
multiple
money.
Properties feeding into each other. It's not the only way, but a lot of people do it.
And
Like,
that's
they're
why we don't have
buying-
housing.
They're buying places to put Airbnb. I understand that, but there's a system.
There is a
would-
system, but if like one person didn't have 5 homes in Bend, Oregon, maybe you'd have a
You
shot
think
at
you'd
buying
be able
one.
to buy one?
If they weren't all bought up,
You
yeah.
can't. It's a free market, man.
I'm just saying it should be a law. No
It
more
can't
than
be.
one.
People would get abused and like it would just not work.
It sounds really nice in theory. I have no idea how the hell that would be applied and how absolute chaos would not.
It would be so
ensue.
chaotic.
Logistically, if you go to take out a loan
Because
or
then the government would own all the houses, and then they'd resell them to us for the amount of money that they're worth in their eyes. That's what would happen, and then we'd be F times 2. So maybe let's think about that.
I'm gonna go ahead and say there's a logistic.
What are you going to do
reason.
with the houses that they have to return or sell? Like, what do you think that would happen, genuinely, to them?
To whom?
To the houses that they own,
Who owns?
the people that own multiple houses.
Maybe slowly make this law into transition.
Starting with
Huh?
people with the most houses.
Yeah, starting with people with the most houses, but
Boy.
then make it also a law or something like
Jacob's going to get sniped.
40 or 50% under market value for the homes you need to get rid of.
If the government is in charge, they are, the government would jack those prices.
Anyways, it's a hypothetical that I'd love to see in place.
Terrible decision. Terrible thing.
Maybe a state will do that, and you can actually see how that plays out.
Maybe it'll be Oregon. They seem to be leading charge on hot takes.
Hey, I really thought that law about splashing someone, I swear,
No, if you look up the thing, there's
getting
like,
fined
yeah.
$500.
Well, I don't know about the river one, but if you look up Oregon weird laws, there's so many, like, it's illegal to be in the bathroom with rollerblades, like I said. There's one, you can't get married on an ice skating rink.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, that's what it is.
At an ice skating rink?
On
Or-
ice?
Oh, so it's
I
just you
think.
can't be on ice.
Read them off, Ella, because there's a couple
So,
of weird
Here's
ones.
some of the. Did you say Oregon or did you say Bend?
Oregon.
Okay. What the top weirdest laws in Oregon? Untied shoelaces.
Is illegal?
Against the law to walk with untied shoelaces.
Yep.
It's illegal to carry a minor on the outside of the vehicle, like the hood or fender.
I mean, that seems
But,
like common
In
knowledge.
the bed.
I feel like
Question
something
mark?
happened and
Technically,
that
you can
law
ride
had to
around in the
be-
bed here, though. It's
Well,
not
all
illegal.
that.
Yeah.
All these came about because some rogue thing happened and then they just didn't undo it.
That's how all rules and laws come about.
But read a couple other ones. It's good.
Opening a car door improperly or leaving it open for an extended period is a traffic violation.
Mm-hmm.
Jail. They said jail for that.
Jail.
You can't play dominoes on Sunday.
Yep.
What?
No Mexican trained at AE. Is that controversial to say that? I'm sorry, but that's what the game was called growing up.
I have played that with my friend Devin in Missouri.
It says it on the box, so I'm gonna go ahead and
I'm
say.
not
It's a
coming for you,
game. It's a
man.
domino
Okay.
game.
Okay. Well then, I just don't want to be canceled for that.
Let's pause. You guys went over that really fast. So are you saying that there's
No
spies
dominoes.
watching to make sure citizens of Oregon are not playing
know about-
dominoes on
no,
Sundays?
No spies.
The
Everybody's
spies.
got these weird laws.
Everybody's
Nobody's actually listening to
Watching you.
No blindfolded driving.
That's a gimme.
Why did they have to make that a law?
According to Forest Grove Elementary, we all know what happened there. A child got ran over. I'm just
Okay,
kidding.
well,
that was my assumption.
Oh my
let's
god.
go ahead and not talk about that.
Pivot. Fake mustaches in church. Why are all these from Forest Grove Elementary? Forest Grove Elementary. What? Driving the wrong way with a lantern. It's illegal to drive the wrong way down a one-way street if you have a lantern attached to the front of your car. Romeo and Juliet law. This law provides leniency in cases of consensual sexual activity between minors that are of close age. Romeo and Juliet law.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Not
okay
where I
with that.
thought they were
And
going with that.
This one here is for Teton Jugglers. Shout out.
Yeah.
Juggling in Hood River. While it's technically illegal to juggle without a license in Hood River, this law isn't enforced.
But it is illegal
But it's illegal.
to juggle in Hood River, yeah.
Yep.
That was another one of the weird ones. Yeah.
No fortune telling in Yarn Hill. Fortune telling is illegal. What?
None of
No
that voodoo
weddings on
stuff.
ice skating rinks. Keep
Yep.
the kids in the car.
Someone got a bad reading.
No lifting weights while driving.
Yeah, let me just
Fishing
get a
with
quick pump.
corn.
I feel like that's illegal in a bunch of different states. Fishing with corn.
What does corn do?
I don't know. Probably not good for the fish.
Probably not. Probably not. Yeah, Oregon's got some wonky ones. So that's been fun to learn about.
Yeah. All right, where are we at?
All right. So I love this one, and Jen and I talk about this a lot, so I want to pose it. Is it harder or easier to make friends in your new city versus back home?
No question, it's so much easier to make friends here. It's the community that we've gained here in the past 40 days has been insane. Where I lived, there wasn't a lot of people that were my age. And I would say this is something we've also talked about, but you kind of can choose your family out here because everyone's kind of traveling on their own journeys, and in the Midwest, family is huge, but a lot of it is their own family. So I didn't come from a big family, so I didn't really have that. So I didn't really have that tie to ground you, and I feel like that's so important. We've talked about that.
Yeah, totally. The demographic, my take on it is the demographic of where you were is, retirees, older people. There wasn't as much access to activities and fun things to do, nature, stuff like that. Out here, you come to a place that's tourism based. I feel like I can say this about most tourist towns is it's a lot of souls coming and going. They're always, they'll pick up a summer here and then they'll go do a winter somewhere else. It's a lot of seasonal work, which is not a thing where we're from. Seasonal work just doesn't really exist except for maybe the ski hill we have down in close to St.
No
Louis,
way.
Missouri. Yeah, we have
Is there a rafting down there?
Whitewater. There might be in southern Missouri. We do have float rivers.
Holy
This is
cow, that truck is
unfortunate
loud.
Timing.
Yeah, man. They're gonna have to.
And it's a diesel.
As you all know,
He's probably warming it up.
Yep. We're on our back porch and. Oh, he just took off.
You know what? He said, "You don't need to warm up today."
Seize the engine.
We're doing it regardless if you're ready.
That's all right. They'll give me something to do in post work. See if I can get rid of that noise and
Good
be
luck
really
with that,
frustrated
soldier.
And scream and cry.
Jacob
this
is
might
the
be-
backbone of this podcast.
Yeah, this might be the first time you have to actually edit out a
No.
distraction.
No.
We'll see. Guys, just play through it. We're just vibing. What were we talking about? What was I saying?
You're
About
talking
the
about
seasonal
the
tourism.
community, the people that come out here.
Yes, the seasonal. So I feel like tourist locations have people that they're transplants. They're coming and going, and when you are surrounded by people like that, and not people that have already established their core groups, their core cliques, and stuff like that, then you're more like you're going to meet more people and experience more people because they're open, they're flowing, they're just talking. It's just souls talking to each other, and it's a really beautiful thing that I've never experienced before. It's kind of ish similar to college, but some people don't take the hormones out. Some people don't take the hormones out and are forever Peter Pans, but we'll get into that one.
Are you talking about yourself?
No. Well, no. No. I'm talking about relationships.
Yeah.
In relationships in travel towns. That's they're very free flowing as well. You come and you go. Anyways. Uh but that's how I view like the core differences between the two locations. And like if you had never I basically had to sell this to both you and Brad and like do my best to describe what that's like without you ever having experienced it. And that was the way I did it. That was how I described it to you. Like what kind of life you would be entering, which you were never going to, you could have never possibly thought about all these things that are happening to us. And it's
I mean, you don't know what you don't know.
Exactly.
You said it was like really beautiful. We were just down at Miller's Landing earlier today, and we were doing some journaling, some reading, just reflecting because, like I said, we've been just go, go, go. So we took time to just go and sit by the river. I swam a little bit. It was literally the perfect afternoon. And we were sitting there after and just sitting in the park, and it's just this huge open area that they've recently opened, and it is just upped the whole game of the location where you guys are and having access to the river. That's a really cool thing that I've seen in Bend. I was so impressed. They actually have stairs into the river. That's all I'm saying. I've never seen that as a Midwest girlie.
I know.
But people were just living their lives around us, and it was really pretty to see. There's a dog getting the zoomies with a sock that he stole. I mean, and there's these kids running around playing and giggling and wanting to pick a beautiful flower, and they're just in the moment. And it was just very wholesome.
Yeah, I thought about how being a parent around here would probably be pretty sick because you'd have a really awesome.
Your kids would sleep so good; they'd be on so many adventures, running around,
absolutely,
being outdoors. There's a phenomenon, and I can never remember the name of it, but there's a phenomenon of just like of the act of admiring and sitting and like people watching essentially, and knowing, like, especially on vacation or a place where you're not from. So I've been doing it a lot here. I sit and see someone go by, they're living their whole life, and in that small instance you cross paths, and that happens a lot here. We've talked about the energy of this place is very like magnetic.
Yeah. Jesse and I talk about the lives crossing.
Yeah.
It's very easy to pretend like we're all in this virtual game and you're the main character and the other people are just what do they call them? Not
NPCs.
NPCs, which means
bots.
Non-player characters, right?
Yeah.
But like everybody is a player character. Everybody has their own story and their background, and I think we've lost that a little bit. I think that we make it really easy to just look at someone and just see them as a very 2D version of themselves. And yeah, Jesse and I talk about that a lot. So it's always fun to create a little storyline for them, and you just see them in the moment and what their emotion they're feeling, and you just wonder what's going on in their life.
For sure.
Would you say that people here, I mean, Midwest, Southern, that hospitality down there is pretty wholesome and like heavy-hearted, but would you say that like people here are pretty welcoming and warm? Like,
I would say I've been like pleasantly surprised, just as like being nervous going to a new area, but people have been so welcoming here, you guys included. You guys have just like opened your home to us, and everyone is just so willing to go out on adventures together or having like a meaningful conversation or just sharing a couple laughs, and
there's so many community groups and stuff.
It's just so natural. Yeah, it's just a lot of people just seem very like free and easy. if that makes sense.
I agree.
I think that's where a lot of people get lost too in like other cities, even Florida for say, because if you're like, there's not as much activity, recreation. There's a lot to do there, but in terms of finding like community, it's pretty hard to do.
I was gonna speak on that.
So like when I moved out to Jackson, I didn't ever really think in my life that there would be specific types of people who would be interested in the same things that I was that weren't like my immediate friends that I grew up with.
Mm-hmm.
Because I was really close with the beach scene, like the skate scene, so skating, surfing, all that. Those were all the people that I knew. And obviously the kids in my high school, but you'd see them, wasn't really that connection. But I'd say outside of that, like unless you did sports, you're either like when you get out of high school, you're just meeting people at bars and clubs. Like,
Yeah, people don't talk about that drop off enough.
Yeah.
Like Brad, Ella, and I all met in college in Columbia, Missouri. And I mean, you go from a time of having your friend, you live with your friends, you see your friends every day, you're having the best time, you know what I mean? You're
Yep.
experiencing freedom, and you just have access to such a good community and group. At least I was very lucky to have that experience. And then to go from that to moving to an area where there's no one my age. Whew. So it was just Brad and I, my boyfriend, and that was such an adjustment, and that was really hard. And to be honest, we weren't very happy with that, and we kind of had to sit with that. And obviously, we made a change, and fast forward, speed forward, we're here. But gosh, that was such a shift, and I think a lot of people are experiencing that, like a pandemic of loneliness. We've talked about
We've
that.
talked about it a lot, and I think I want to speak on my perspective on it because it's a little bit different than your guys's. This is one of the things that I think the Midwest does really well is gatherings of whether it be families or like groups of friends, like, well, when you're in the vicinity with them and
Mhm.
stuff like that, but like barbecues, fall festivals,
I
Christmas
love a
things.
good Midwest fall
I
festival.
love a good
Oof.
wet Midwest fall fest.
did you know what I
Come
said
on.
to Ella the first time I was in Jackson for fall? I looked at her and I was like, why are those Christmas trees not turning yellow too? And she was like, those are evergreens.
Stop.
But growing up, yeah, I really didn't
He's
have
from
it.
Florida
Florida.
boy, yeah.
He's from Florida.
There is
That's
no
so
color
funny.
change there.
You know what? I have a story of my own, Jacob, and it was actually with Ella when we went to Colorado and Wyoming, one of the
God,
best road trips
I already know
in
what you're about to
2021. And I was obsessed with going on a journey to Estes Park. Had never been to the Rocky Mountains, and so we made a whole plan to go and do a sunrise hike at Dream Lake. Have you ever been?
I haven't, but it's funny now that you're saying this. Ella had mentioned when we went to Estes Park that she had been there with somebody, and it's funny now that it was you.
Full circle.
It's full circle.
It was I.
It was you.
Yeah, and so we got up and we hiked in the dark. We won't talk about the traumatic drive over, but
No.
we got there and we went on this hike, and it's all, I mean, we went there in, when was it that we went? What month was it?
October.
That's what I thought. Yeah, so it was peak time.
Yeah.
It was
the first week of
absolutely
October.
beautiful.
Yeah, it was
Some of the
unbelievable.
best photos I've ever taken, and it doesn't even do it justice.
Yep.
But they were all aspens, and I thought they were larches. And so I walked around the whole park all morning saying, "Look at these beautiful larches." And I just know hikers were walking by like, "Oh my God, that stupid girl, those are aspens." And I was so confident and passionate about it.
Literally, I remember like walking around, and Jennifer's thing is like when she's experiencing joy, she wants me to experience it with her. Always. And so anytime she does it, she calls me over. Ella, look at all the larches. Just look at them. Like that's the energy she
Yeah.
was doing. She
All
was
the
like
larches.
walking around, admiring the trees, and just was like, "Ah, they're just so yellow and beautiful. I just can't believe that there's all these larches." And
I was in awe, and that's my love language. I wanted you to make sure you were experiencing it as well. And
Meanwhile, she was getting altitude sickness.
I did. We went too
That's a
hard.
dangerous game.
Folks,
It is a
take
real
time to
dangerous
adjust
game.
to the altitude differences,
Drink your
especially if
water.
you're coming from sea level. You'd think it's common sense,
I've
but
been lucky that it's
I did
never
it.
gotten to me, but yeah, Jen felt it.
I was thankful I had someone to drive me down the mountain that day.
I haven't really gotten altitude sickness anywhere besides, I think,
Really?
possibly the other week when I went to Mount Hood, the summer solstice. And that was only because we went to Arizona and then we drove to Santa Barbara and we were there for a couple of days. And then the day after we got back was the solstice. So I drove from here, went there, and everybody was already up top at the rock and the lift's closed. So I couldn't even try to bum a ride. And I just put on my touring setup and turned and burned. And I think I made it in like an hour and 40 minutes or something like that of like
That is insane.
a lot of vertical feet. And by the time I got to the top, I was hungry, so I ate my burrito, and then I stopped for a second. And I was like, I have the worst headache, and I feel like I'm going to throw up. And then I chugged a bunch of water, and it went away, so I don't know.
You also said you really lock in on hikes and just go.
Yeah.
And for you going, I mean, it was straight up, right?
Not too
Practically.
straight. Well, I mean, not too bad, but
Feel like-
definitely.
feel like
You're
he's
not
being
too bad
very
and
humble.
my not too bad are not the same.
I agree on this.
You're not too bad, and a majority of the world's population's not too bad is not the same. But
I feel
all
like it's
right.
pretty crazy because the people that I look up to and aspire to emulate and be like, they crush everything that I do, and I'm like, that is insane. Like,
yeah, you're
them-
talking about actual athletes.
not
And
even,
you-
no,
yeah,
not
but-
even. The thing about mountain
Here we
towns is
go.
somebody, okay, this is one little tangent. Somebody, this is controversial because somebody has the fastest known time on the Grand, but there's also this woman, this mom that just actively likes to recreate and beat it by like an incredible gap, like cut so much time off.
You got her name?
I don't know. You can, she did it. Here's the thing. I don't want to name drop anyone because like I'm
I
not
just
too.
want to double check your facts.
The facts are that I know this is for sure. If you Google it, I know who it's going to tell you who did the Grand as a woman, the fastest known time. Or it's the picnic, sorry. The whole thing from Jackson to Jenny Lake, swim across it, up, down, back, that whole trip. But she was the fastest person to do it unsupported and still beat like the fastest known time of supported.
That's sick.
So like I'm saying, there's just a lot of crazy athletes that aren't.
I'm just saying you don't have to be you don't have to be competing to be an athlete.
Yeah.
Like you're definitely
Okay.
an athlete. You know what I mean?
I see.
Yeah.
Agree to
Thank you.
disagree.
What?
I have to say, every single time Ella, Jacob, and I are in a conversation and we are just rolling, somehow it always comes up that Ella thinks Jacob could have been an athlete. And Ella would single-handedly be Jacob's manager. And that's all. I'll leave it there. I think she
I
believes in
still
Jacob
believe.
more than he believes in himself.
Listen, this hasn't even. I still believe. I think anybody can become an athlete at any time, and I think that Jacob is sitting on the secret sauce of being able
The
to just
secret
lock in. And, anyways,
I'm not
yeah.
a competitive person.
I think he should do an Ironman.
You could run an ultra. Is it an ultra marathon?
The thing
where you have
is-
to run
Do a
100
triathlon, too.
miles.
You could so do a triathlon, man. And you would do well, like really well. If you cared about it and stuff, you would do really well.
I
You
don't
could train
think
in the
I
river.
want to compete. That's the thing. It's
That's
like
fine.
He did
and
just say that.
I understand that, but
I get the joy
saying,
and burn by myself on my own
Right.
time.
Whatever.
I get that.
Don't make us millions of dollars. That's your thing. Okay, let's wrap it up. We're almost to an hour. I think a good closing spot would be something for Jen and I. This is a pretty good one, and we talked about it a little bit earlier. It says, what's one thing your Missouri self would never believe that you're doing now?
Swimming in the river every day. I stole it from her. I don't know though. You go ahead and answer.
He's good. That's what I was going to
No,
say.
You're a mermaid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can go play mermaids at any time, at any point. And we can walk down to the river. from
I
your
feel like
place.
it's also fair to
If-
mention that you are hiking out by yourself now, which is probably something you didn't anticipate.
That's something I actually
Were you into
did
before?
She wanted to. She was always, that was a goal of hers, is she always
Well,
wanted to go out and hike.
I did go on a solo hiking trip to Colorado a couple years back.
Mhm.
Okay.
And I drove out there on my own and stayed and then went and did day hikes.
Okay.
So I have done that. It's been a couple years and I was in better shape then. But yeah, I would like to do more of that. And I got some good trail running shoes today. So I'm super stoked to do that.
Yeah.
Proper gear is important, people.
Very important. It's
My
quite important.
blisters sponsor this ad.
For me, I guess I'll.
And with my family, like my soul family. The fact that I'm able to do this in such a beautiful place with like some really cool people is priceless.
Yeah. My Missouri self would never believe that I am taking a gap summer and spending it with my best friends, unemployed, and just living the absolute crap out of life. Like, you guys haven't seen all of the things. You've seen like a good chunk of what has been happening, and you're probably like, is Ella like always on the go? Yes. I sleep a little bit when I can. But otherwise it's like constant life living. It is the best way that I can describe it. And the amount that I've already grown thus far being here in Oregon, but also I'll throw Jackson into that pot. Like the amount that I've grown in self in the past 5-6 years is, I believe, astronomically ahead of what I would be if I stayed in Missouri. And I love the person that I was in Missouri. I love her to death. I love my old selves, all of them, every single one. But the person that I am now, like I'm ready to step into that fully. And yeah, I can't believe that I'm here. I still have to keep, both of us still have to keep pinching ourselves and just being, we just look at each other
Just
randomly.
yesterday I said that, didn't I?
I can't believe that we're here. I
Yeah.
can't believe that we made it. And it's true. This was like a kind of thing that started when Jacob moved out here and then started trying to get me to come out here. And then whenever
Do you think we'd show up, Jacob? Think Brad and I'd show
I
up?
had no
Yeah,
idea
when
really who you guys were, you know, so I didn't know what my odds were.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah. I, took the leap of faith and then I somehow convinced my two other best friends to take the bigger leap of faith. Because I had already done it, so this was a walk in the park for me, the transition from Jackson to Bend. But for Jen and Brad, it was basically like I was asking them to jump off of something with blindfolds on and not know where the bottom was. And I have the utmost love and respect for them to have the
Was it,
courage to do
has
that.
it, or will it be worth it, this move, would you say?
It's totally worth it.
Okay. Yeah. You
I
feel like,
no question.
yeah?
Yeah, it's
No regrets.
no.
No?
None.
You heard that, people. Make the move.
I'm nervous.
Just
there's
trust.
a raccoon above us.
A squirrel.
Is it a squirrel?
It is a raccoon.
Is
I
it?
told you the raccoon's back.
I'm looking at it.
Oh, boy.
It's looking at me. There's two
Oh
of
my
them.
God. Guys, this
There's
is the
two of
ender.
them.
I'm going to grab a phone clip of this. Jackie, there's raccoons.
You gotta put. Oh,
Film
There's
this thing.
3 of them. There's
Sorry,
3.
everybody,
There's-
that's not visually watching this, but
Should I
there's
put
3
it in-
raccoons in the tree right now.
I'm gonna put it.
That's good thinking. Oh, it's a baby.
It's a baby. Aw. Wow. That's so funny.
Are they like clumsy?
two
Are they this
babies and a
agile?
mama.
Are they allowed to just be walking around in trees?
Yeah, why not?
That's what they.
Or are they clumsy like pandas and they
Do you
fall out?
have raccoons in Florida?
A ton of them.
They have fingers.
They have little bandit
That one has
claws.
like itchy. Looks like it got fleas.
We had an infestation of raccoons
Jacob.
in our house in Illinois.
Looks like it
I've had
got
my fill.
fleas.
You're gonna give fleas to Jackie.
That's
Well,
I think that this is our cue.
it'll wrap it up.
You never know when
We have
the
a lot of
wilderness
raccoons.
will humble you.
When the nature's gonna invade.
We have a lot of raccoons to look at right now, so we're gonna take this
Yeah, we're
chance
gonna
to
take this
separate.
opportunity, maybe observe some wildlife.
Any final words that you'd like to say to the people, Jen?
Yeah, Jen.
Wow, a lot of pressure.
If you don't, you don't. But if
Yeah.
you feel like there's one
You're
thing you
saying
took from
conclusion.
this entire experience, let it rip.
I think just trust yourself. That's honestly what this whole month and a half has been, is just trusting yourself and your gut and leaning into that.
Also believing in yourself, like believing and trusting.
It took a lot of guts.
Yeah, it did.
Scary as hell.
So much courage.
We got a lot of weird comments, and I mean, just explaining that to people that were coming out here, and the why.
A lot of people won't believe in you, but that's all right.
That's all right.
At the end
Or
of the
see the
day,
picture,
you're living your
Yeah,
life and
they
not
can't
them.
see, they can't ever see the full picture, so you just got to live it for you, man.
Absolutely.
Oh my God. There's 2 babies.
They're like coming
Dude,
down
they're
here.
coming down right now.
They are coming.
All
to
right,
see
guys.
They have
Well,
a perfect wrap.
Ella, stop complaining. See you guys next time. It's been lovely.
Bye.